Hello, hello, hello. Let's be on the chat and we'll see who we've got tonight. I'm hoping we've got 4 teams. Hello, June. Hi, Dawn. Nice to hear from you, my dear. Hope everybody is well. Evening, Stephen. Oh, I should say hello to Jeanette and Cotton as well, shouldn't I? Yeah, we're fine, Dawn. We're fine. There's Stacey. Evening, Stacey. I think when I assume when I'm going to get Richard tonight, apparently he's got in-laws with him or something, so who could ever forget Jeanette, Stephen? Let's be honest. Actually, I'll probably text you later on the night. I don't know. Are you going to Josie's due next weekend? Or this weekend? I'll give you a text afterwards anyway. Right, your subjects tonight. Let's get quizzing. Question 1 is general knowledge. 2 is geography. 3 is pop. 4 is sport. 5 is TV. 6 is history. 7 is food and drink. 8 is films. 9 is connections. And 10 is true or false. So that's your little selection for tonight. And we'll crack on with question 1 on general knowledge. First part. In the nursery rhyme, who did Simple Simon meet? In the nursery rhyme, who did Simple Simon meet? Question 2. Which track hosts the British Formula One Grand Prix? Which track hosts the British Formula One Grand Prix? Question 3. By what name do we know the Italian city of Firenze? Firenze. By what name do we know the Italian city of Firenze? Firenze. Firenze. Question 4. Which three events make up an Olympic triathlon? Which three events make up an Olympic triathlon? All three events for 1 point. It's just the type of events you're looking for. I'm not looking at any distances or anything like that. It's the type of events. Question 5. What did the Light program become in September 1967? What did the radio station The Light program become in September 1967? Question 2 is on geography. It's capital cities. Capital cities. In which capital city would you find Charles Bridge and Wenceslas Square? In which capital city would you find Charles Bridge and Wenceslas Square? Glasses a quick wipe. That's better. Question 2. Which is the only capital city in the world that begins with the letter Z? Which is the only capital city in the world which begins with the letter Z? Z, if you want to think American. Question 3. Nairobi is the capital of which African country? Nairobi is the capital of which African country? Question 4. In which capital city did the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand trigger World War I? In which capital city did the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand take place? That event triggering the outbreak of World War I. And question 5. Which of the following countries does not begin with the same letter as its capital city? Okay, I'm going to give you 4 countries. Which one does not have the same start letter as its capital city? The countries are Brazil, Algeria, Slovakia or Mexico? Brazil, Algeria, Slovakia or Mexico? Which one does not have a capital city that begins with the same letter as the country? Got any queries on those questions? Just send us a little message. If not, when you've got all the answers, just send us a ready. Stacey ready, June ready. Dawn ready. And Stephen ready. Okay, general knowledge. Who did Simple Simon meet? That was a pieman. A pie man. British Formula One Grand Prix takes place at Silverstone. Firenze in Italy is better known to us as Florence. The three events that make an Olympic triathlon: swimming, cycling, and running. Swimming, cycling, and running. Did a good job in Sunderland last week, Stephen. Eh? World Triathlon Championships. And poisoned half of them with a river. And 5, when did the Light programme become? September 1967. It became Radio 2. Excuse me. Which capital city would you find Charles Bridge and Wenceslas Square? That's in Prague. The only capital city in the world to begin with the letter Z, or Z, is Zagreb, capital of Croatia. Nairobi is the capital of Kenya. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand took place in Sarajevo, triggering World War I. And Brazil, Algeria, Slovakia, Mexico, which one does not begin with the same letter as its capital city? That's Slovakia. Slovakia is Bratislava. Yes, Brazil is Brasilia. Algeria is Algiers. And Mexico is Mexico City. Excuse me. So when you've got your scores, send them through. Stacey was 7 out of 10. June with 8. Dawn with 8. And Stephen with 6. We've got Stephen on 6, Stacey on 7, June and Dawn out in the lead at the minute on 8 points. As we're going to round 3, which is, as usual, pop music. And it's quite simply lyrics. From which songs do these lyrics come? Which songs do these lyrics come? First one. And I would have liked to have known you, but I was just a kid. I would have liked to have known you, but I was just a kid. Excuse me. The second one. She looks like a sugar in a plum. She looks like a sugar in a plum. Number 3, take a look up the rail track from Miami to Canada. Take a look at the rail track from Miami to Canada. You just want the song titles here, the titles of the songs. Number 4, You're Dirty and Sweet. Oh yeah. You're dirty and sweet. Oh yeah. And number 5, The disco is migrating. The sound is loud and grating. It's truly nauseating. The disco is migrating. The sound is loud and grating. It's truly nauseating. Yeah, question 4 is on sport. What sports are played on the following venues? What sport are played on the following venues or surfaces or whatever? The first one, clay or grass courts. Clay or grass courts. 2, which sport is played on an alley? An alley. A-L-L-E-Y. Question 3, what sport is played on a gridiron? Gridiron. Question 4, which sport is played or performed on a velodrome? Velodrome. 5, which sport is played on a crown green? A crown green. If you've got any queries, just pop them down, or if not, send us a ready when you're ready. Stacey, ready? Tunes ready? Stephen's ready. Excuse me. And Dawn's ready. Okay, the pop lyrics. I would have liked to have known you, but I was just a kid. The candle burned out long before the legend ever did. The Candle in the Wind. Elton John, of course. Candle in the Wind. 2, she looks like the sugar in a plum, plum, plum. Brown girl in the ring. La, 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 la. Brown girl in the ring, Boney M. Take a look up the rail track from Miami to Canada. That was the Proclaimers and Letter to America. Before You're Dirty and Sweet. Oh yeah, that was T-Rex and Get It On. Bang a gong, get it on. The disco is migrating, the sound is loud and grating. It's truly nauseating. That was the Spitting Image Crew and the Chicken Song. The Chicken Song. Sport. Which sports are played on clay or grass courts? That's tennis. An alley would be 10-pin bowling. A gridiron is American football. Velodrome is cycling. And Crown Green is bowls. Well, they were quite reasonable sports ones even for you, June. When you get your scores, send them through. There's Dawn straight in with a 9, gives you 17. Stacey 7 gives you 14. June 7 gives you 15. And Stephen 8 gives you 14. With Stephen and Stacey on 14, June on 15, Dawn out in the front at the minute on 17. Plenty of time to catch up though. Question 5 is TV. TV. This one is Cops on the Box. Cops on the Box. Number 1. Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Tubbs were characters in which American-based police drama? Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Tubbs were characters in which American-based police drama? Question 2. In which UK series did the characters of Bodie and Doyle feature? In which UK series did the characters of Bodie and Doyle feature? Excuse me. Question 3. Which famous actor who played Prince Voltan in the 1980 film Flash Gordon played PC Fancy Smith in the 1960s TV series Z-Cars? Which famous actor who played Prince Voltan in the 1980 film Flash Gordon played PC Fancy Smith in the 60s TV series Z-Cars? Question 4. What was the name of the streetwise, jive-talking underworld contact for Starsky and Hutch? What was the name of the streetwise, jive-talking underworld contact for Starsky and Hutch? Remember those cardigans? Oh. And question 5. In which decade did Sam Taylor reawaken after his car accident in Life on Mars? In which decade did Sam Taylor reawaken after his car accident in Life on Mars? Excuse me. Question 6 is history. The Romans. Question 1. On how many hills was Rome said were being built? On how many hills was Rome said were being built? Question 2. Which Roman city was buried by volcanic ash in AD 79? Which Roman city was buried by volcanic ash in AD 79? Question 3. Who was the Roman god of wine? Who was the Roman god of wine? Question 4. When did the Romans come to Britain? Was it AD 23, AD 33, or AD 43? When did the Romans come to Britain? AD 23, AD 33, or AD 43? And question 5. Which famous warrior queen led a rebellion against the Romans in 60 AD? Which famous warrior queen led a rebellion against the Romans in 60 AD? When you get your answers, senders are ready. And Stacey and June straight in there as usual. Ready? And Stephen and Jeanette. And Dawn and Bobby's in. Okay, TV, Cops on the Box. Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Tubbs were characters in Miami Vice. Odie and Doyle featured in The Professionals. PC Fancy Smith in Z Guards was played by Brian Blessed. The Streetwise Jive Talking Underworld contact for Starsky and Hutch was Huggy Bear. And Sam Taylor reawakened in the 1970s, actually 1973. Nothing good happened in 1973. Not right, Stephen. History of the Romans. On how many hills was Rome said to have been built? That was 7. The Roman city buried by volcanic ash in 79 was Pompeii. The Roman god of wine and a pub in the town is the Bacchus. Oh, Bacchus was the god of wine. The Romans came to Britain in AD 43. And the famous warrior queen that led a rebellion against the Romans in 60 AD was, excuse me, was Boadicea, as I used to say it at school, but a lot of people call it Boudica now. But Boadicea or Boudica, whichever one you like. When you got your scores, send them through. Yeah, what's it to you, Stacey? postcode tell us you were born in Stacey in 73. Stacey, 9 out of 10 gives you 23. Dawn, 9 out of 10 gives you 26. I told you nothing good happened that year. That was when Sunderland won the cup, man. June, 10 out of 10 gives you 25. And Stephen, 9 gives you 23. So we've got Stephen and Stacey on 23, June on 25, Dawn on 26. It's all nice and close. It's all nice and close. Yeah, it's always been a joke between us Geordies and them Mackhams. They'll still go on about, at least we've won something. Makes up for them having a crap team for so many years, but never mind, never mind. Okay, well, crack on. Question 7 is food and drink. Number 1, if you are diagnosed with celiac disease, which protein are you unable to eat? If you are diagnosed with celiac disease, which protein are you unable to eat, or should you not eat? Question 2. What type of pasta has a name meaning little worms? What type of pasta has a name meaning little worms? Question 3. What type of pastry are profiteroles made out of? What type of pastry are profiteroles made out of? Excuse me. Question 4. From which type of flour does a vanilla pod come? From which type of flour does a vanilla pod come? And question 5. Which nuts are used to make marzipan? Which nuts are used in marzipan? Excuse me. Big question 8 is on films. It's on taglines of films from the 1970s. Taglines from films in the 1970s. Taglines are just a little advertising blurbs that go out on the posters and things. So name the movies from the taglines they were advertised with. First one, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That was a 1977 film. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. 1977. Number 2, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. That's a 1978 film. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. 1978. Number 3, another 1978 film. The Night He Came Home. The Night He Came Home. Question 4. Excuse me. In space, no one can hear you scream. That was a 1979 film. In space, no one can hear you scream. Number 5. On every street in every city, there's a nobody who dreams of being a somebody. That was 1976. On every street in every city, there's a nobody who dreams of being a somebody. You ready? Send you ready, Stu. Stacey, ready? June ready? Dawn ready? Excuse me. And Stephen ready. Okay, food and drink. You had celiac disease. You are unable to eat gluten, or you shouldn't eat gluten. What type of pasta has a name meaning little worms? That's vermicelli. Profiteroles are made out of choux pastry. Vanilla pod comes from an orchid. And marzipan is made from almonds. Film taglines: a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That was Star Wars. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. Jaws 2. Jaws 2, just when you thought it was safe to go back in. It wasn't the original Jaws. The Night He Came Home. That was Halloween. In space, no one can hear you scream. Brilliant. Alien. And 5, on every street in every city, there's a nobody who dreams of being a somebody. It was a classic. Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver. Robert De Niro. You looking at me? You looking at me? That's the one. And you've got your scores. Send them through. Dawn 9. Gives you 35. Stacey 7 gives you 30. No, gives you 26. No, 7 gives you 30. That's right. Doubting myself here. June 8 gives you 33. Stephen, 9. Good score again, 32. Well, that's brought you up a little bit. Stacey now on 30, Stephen on 32, June on 33. Dawn still out in the lead by 2 points on 35. As we go into the last 2 rounds. Question 9 is connections. First part. What was the name of the character played by Richard Wilson in One Foot in the Grave? What was the name of the character played by Richard Wilson in One Foot in the Grave? Question 2. What sport would you be playing if competing for the Harry Vardon Trophy? What sport would you be playing if competing for the Harry Vardon Trophy? Question 3. What is the largest province in Canada? What is the largest province in Canada? Question 4. In which 80s TV show would you find the characters of Inspector Jean Darblay and Inspector Kate Longton? Which 80s TV show would you find the characters of Inspector Jean Darblay and Inspector Kate Longton? And question 5. What connects those 4 answers? What connects those 4 answers? And question 10. Guess you want to finish on? True or false? True or false? Question 1. Ryan Giggs, who played international football for Wales, was actually born in England. Ryan Giggs, who played international football for Wales, was born in England. True or false? Question 2. The individual numbers on a roulette wheel add up to 666. The individual numbers on a roulette wheel add up to 666. The number of the beast. Number 3. In the 1975 film The Day of the Locust, Donald Sutherland plays a character called Homer Simpson. True or false? In the 1975 film The Day of the Locust, Donald Sutherland plays a character called Homer Simpson. True or false? Question 4. In standard UK Monopoly, to buy Mayfair, Leicester Square, and Oxford Street would cost more than £1,000. In standard UK Monopoly, to buy Mayfair, Leicester Square, and Oxford Street would cost more than £1,000. True or false? Question 5. There are more players in a polo team than there are in a water polo team. There are more players in a polo team than there are in a water polo team. True or false? False or true? When you've got your answers, senders are ready. Stacey ready. Dawn's ready. Stephen's ready. And June was ready. Great Connections. The character played by Richard Wilson in One Foot in the Grave was Victor Meldrew. What sport would you be playing if competing for the Harry Vardon Trophy? That's played for in golf. Largest province in Canada is Quebec. And Inspector Jean Darby and Inspector Kate Longton were in the TV show Juliet Bravo. And the connection is the NATO alphabet. Victor, Golf, Quebec, Bravo. Victor, Golf, Quebec, Bravo. All used to denote letters in the NATO alphabet. And true or false? Ryan Giggs, who played international football for Wales, was born in England. False, he was actually born in Cardiff. The individual numbers on a roulette wheel add up to 666. That's true. Let's have a go. 36 plus 35 plus 34. La-di-da-di-da. In the 75 film Day of the Locust, Donald Sutherland plays Homer Simpson. That's true. Standard UK monopoly to buy Mayfair, Leicester Square and Oxford Street would cost more than £1,000. It's false. It would cost you 960 quid. 400 for Mayfair, 260 for Leicester Square and 300 for Oxford Street. Gives you 960. And there are more players in a polo team than there are in a water polo team. That's false. There's only 4 in a polo team, about 5 or 6 in water polo. Anyway, it's false. So when you get your scores, send them through. Dawn 8 gives you 43. Cracking score, Dawn. Stacey 7 gives you 37. Oh, June 3 gives you 36. And Stephen 7 gives you 39. It's another good score, Stephen. So, June's been to grasp defeat from the jaws of victory. She has. And finishes on 36. Stacey on 37. Stephen, with what would normally be a great score of 39. But Dawn, anything over 40 is really good in this quiz. And it's 43 for Dawn. Well done, all of you. But well done, especially to Dawn. Cracking quiz knowledge there. Okay, if you enjoyed that, hopefully we'll be on next week. And I'll see you all then. See you all next week. Good night now.